All right, gang, let's get right into it. I'm back with more league racing activity. This is at Australia. This is F1 2021. This is in all likelihood going to be the last league race that you see me run in this game in F1 2021. You will see some other races. I'm not done with the game, but we just finished what I expect to be the last season of our league in this game, and we will jump back in F1 2022 with some significant changes, hopefully. Possibly. We'll see. But what you're seeing right here is qualifying, okay? So I just ran what was a pretty decent lap in qualifying. I fueled up for 2 laps, and the second to last lap of my qualifying session was pretty decent outside of the very end of the lap. So you're seeing a lot of red times right here on the Delta, but it's not really exactly accurate, I guess you would say, overall, just because I really kind of botched the end of the last lap. So I'm going to have the opportunity here to make up a lot of time at the very end of the lap. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm pretty tight. What is this? A tenth and a half down through almost 2 sectors. We're getting up on 2 sectors. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Gained a little bit of time on that little straightaway there. Gained a little bit of time there. You see me go green, and we are now angling pretty nicely. I am P6 right now, and I'm hopeful to gain at least 2 tenths here, 3 tenths maybe. Yeah, I get over 3 tenths. Almost 4 tenths. Wow. Yeah. Over 4 tenths. Nice. Nicely done. Anyway, I ended up getting passed by Alex, who was right behind me, but ended up getting a better time than me. So we qualified P7, which I'm fine with, and it wasn't the greatest time in the world, but I thought it was a pretty good lap, especially because I was just not feeling good in getting ready for this race. So I was happy with that. But it's going to be a test here, so we're going to see what we can do. So you see the start here, 5 red lights, and away we go. I'm going down through here. Didn't get a great start. I really was not happy with that. But I'm trying to be very careful not to just late brake there. Yeah, and I went off track, and it was just a messy start, but I stayed clean and I stayed safe, which is what I was focusing on trying to do. You see my teammate Hal 9100 to the right of me. He got a pretty good start. I'm trying to give him room here, as much room as possible. And then, unfortunately, I just go a little deep there and probably cut Hal off a little bit, which I felt bad about. But it wasn't intentional, I will say. It's not like I was trying to get my elbows out. It was just lack of ability. And I'm trying to follow closely here and stay within range so that I can hopefully pounce on some DRS activity here as soon as DRS starts at the beginning of lap 3. But until then, it's just going to be the game of trying to stay close. You see Whizbang just sort of, it wasn't really his fault, but he kind of was off the track and came back on, and I just sort of ran out of room. I should have just backed out instead of staying to the throttle, but I didn't. And I got the wing damage. And you're seeing the recommendation from Jeff that we change our strategy. And you may not be able to tell, but it was very clearly affecting me when turning, I think it's the left that it was really affecting me. When turning left, it's really affecting me because I got that damage on the right side of my wing. So I just sort of figured, all right, heck it, we're going to have to make the most of this. And I'm just going to have to go into the pits and go ahead and put on my mediums. You see, watch this. So Guitar Hero, you can't hear it, I don't think, but he came up on the back of me very quickly and went straight into the wall, it sounded like. And unfortunately, we had a double stack here. I didn't know that Hal got damaged at the time, but he did get damaged, so he had to freaking sit behind me and watch me get a new wing for 6 or 7 seconds, which I felt pretty bad about it. I think ultimately it didn't end up making a difference for his race, and you'll see more of that later, but I did feel bad about it at the time. So I come out of the pits in P11. I am well aware that I'm going to have to run the rest of this race on the mediums, which is not ideal, but it is certainly doable. In a 25% race, if you get some kind of damage on lap 1 and you have to go in and get a new wing, it is completely doable to run the rest of the race on the other compound of tire. And I think you could do it the other way. I mean, if you on lap 1 are on mediums and break your wing, you probably could find a way to make softs work for the rest of the race. Probably. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think I've done it for not a full race, but maybe minus 2 laps or something like that. But On a 25% race, your strategy can kind of work however you need it to. So it sounds counterintuitive, but breaking a wing on lap 1 doesn't actually completely screw up your race. And don't get me wrong, it's not helpful at all. I mean, I would have saved 6 or 7 seconds, but it's certainly doable. So going into lap 3 here, my whole intent was to just stay within DRS range, but you see there that I couldn't do it. I stayed outside of 1 second, outside of these guys. So we're going to skip ahead here to lap 5. I'm 11th, and you see Kenny Hitman Hart here, who was in front of me. I don't know what happened to him exactly, but he did not appear to be moving well. He just kind of got out of the way there. I wonder if he had some wing damage or something, but I was able to get past him pretty easily, so I'm up to P10. Fast forward now to lap 8, and this is the point where all the other guys who didn't get damage on lap 1 are starting to hit their pit window. So I'm bound to make up a few places here. So you see me go up to P8, and you can pretty much assume that if I can keep these guys behind me, that I should be looking at least P8, but probably everybody is pitted at this point. So you see Moose there, unfortunately retire, but I am P8, and Chris KYU62, since he came out of the pits on lap 8, has been breathing down my neck. He's faster than I am usually. I think the thing about Chris is that he's faster than I am, but I think he's less consistent than I am. So every time I'm racing with him in close proximity, it's a question of my consistency versus his speed. And if he keeps it consistent, he's pretty much unstoppable. I mean, he's gotten some really good results in this league when he's managed to keep it consistent. But it's just little stuff, and you probably have seen a few times in this race, or will see a few times, where he'll just lose half a second or something just from maybe having a moment of oversteer, understeer, or a snap or something. And that's sort of what I'm counting on, is that if I just stay consistent, I know I'm a little slower, but if I can stay consistent, I can hopefully stay in front of him. And he's got this 5-second penalty, so I want to keep him behind me for as long as I can, because I know he's faster than I am, but he probably won't be able to put a second per lap on me once he gets by. So I tried to defend against him a little bit there, but just didn't really have it there at all. So I'm now 0.7, 0.8 seconds behind him. You see me turn on the overtake. I'm very low on battery at this point, but I'm trying to stay within range, and he gets a little moment there. It just wasn't a good place for me to pass him, so I couldn't do it. But I was about to get DRS, so you see me hit the DRS there. I just didn't really have enough to go at him right there, but I'm hopeful that maybe I can get him on this long straight. But at the very least, I'm staying within a little bit of time of him, so that hopefully by the end of the race, even if he stays ahead, I'll get the benefit of his 5-second penalty, and I'll take his place away from him. That's my hope, and that's my plan. And we'll see how that works out. But I'm going to stay within DRS range of him for as long as humanly possible. And my thinking is this. I'm going to stay within DRS range of him until I can't anymore, which will happen, especially with me having low battery. I'm looking at 10% right now, 9%, 8%, and you get reduced output below 15, I think it is. So I'm certainly getting some reduced output, and he's faster than I am anyway. But I'm just trying to stay within DRS range for as long as I can, and then hopefully recharge my battery for most of the rest of the race, intelligently, of course, because I see Whizbang up there has got 5 seconds of penalties. It's not insane to think that he could get up to 8 seconds of penalties for track limit violations. And, oh, wow, look at that. Whizbang's got 8 seconds of track limit violations. So ISI Boy ran a good race behind me. I think he went medium to soft. He almost catches up with me. At this point, I don't think it's possible. He's 6 seconds behind. He's got 3 seconds of penalties. I'm running pretty well at this point of the race, so I'm feeling pretty good. So at this point, I've just got to bring it home and hope that maybe, just maybe, I could gain a few seconds on Whizbang if he makes a mistake. Doesn't seem likely, but if he spins or makes contact with somebody, I could absolutely make up some room on him. So that's kind of the thinking there. I don't know what happened here. Oh, that's my teammate Hal. That's unfortunate. Yes, he did not have a great race, which you hate to see, but it certainly happens sometimes. So I'm just motoring along here. Maybe I can get within range of Whizbang. Probably not. So I'm looking here at a P6, which is a great result for me. Ties my best result of the season, and Incident gets the win. Good for him. But it's been a season where the league got faster. The league continues to get faster. So I didn't get any podiums or anything, but I did get 2 P6s if you include this one, and then one that I got earlier in the season. So ultimately, I think it was a pretty consistent and good season by me. And I'm looking forward to whatever happens in F1 2022. But until then, we're going to run some 100% races in the off season. I would like to do some Gran Turismo 7 rally races with these guys in the off season. But look out for more of that to come. It's a P6, no penalties. I'm one of the few who did that. Look at this final leaderboard. Everybody else have penalties, not me. I'm a clean driver. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.